the buddy is officially napping, so I thought I may as well do a quick video while he naps. As you want to see, don't believe in social media because this is looking really nice and clean, and then you just zoop, and that's the chaos behind me. But you know what? I just had a nice shower just to like wake up, just re-poured some hot water in my tea, and now I'm just like feeling very wanting to make a video. So as I was having a shower, I was like, what should I talk about? Because there's so many things. Again, there's like so many ideas of how I want this channel to be. Talking about marriage, talking about motherhood, baby stuff, because that stuff really helped me when I was single. And then as I went to my next stage, married, it really helped me. And then there was also really good stuff that, helped me as I transitioned into motherhood and reviews of products and stuff. And so it may not apply to you at that point, but, one day you'll be able to reflect back when you have a child and be like, oh, I remember watching that video. So anyway, I'm just going to go with the flow. But today, I guess on the topic of marriage and singleness, because that was the last few videos that we had posted, and that's getting a lot of traction. So I guess today would be wanting to know what I would have liked to have had on my list as a single person, and how it would change if I was speaking to my single self as a married person, and actually like things that you find more important. So like the things that most people would find important, when you're single, especially in like your 20s. And I was here, so it's fine. It's like, you just want a guy who's hot, a guy who's hot, who loves the Lord, that has charisma and suave and has a good job. And that's like pretty much as the extent of your list. And definitely as like even unsaved, as an unsaved person. The extent of your list, I remember like kept on going as I was getting older. And then I was like, oh my God, how am I even gonna find somebody that will check my list? Things in my husband weren't things that I had prayed for, but I didn't realize that were very important as a wife and as somebody that I did pray for these things, but I didn't know these were probably more important than just like the physical things, which is still very important. I think it's like super important that you feel attracted to your husband or your wife. And I'm going to be talking to men and women here. But like, when you want to be physically attracted to your partner because you want to have sex and you want to be attracted to them, you don't want to be tempted by other people that are more attractive than your partner, and they might be, but you want to be able to come back and be like, damn, I did good. They're fine. Yeah. And I have that with my husband because he is fine. But, all the other things that make a marriage like work, and because I'm flawed, and also as a woman, you're a little bit more emotional as you're pregnant, you're having your period, all that kind of stuff. You kind of want a guy to be able to be steadfast, and that. But also like things that are really important is like someone who like easily forgives, that is kind even when you're fighting, someone who is a good listener, and someone who has a really good family. If you don't have a good family, like it really does help. This is not like a be all and end all, but like somebody that has a really good, healthy family, then at least you have somewhat to role model off, or even like have people for your child to grow up around. I think, they say that religion and politics don't mesh well, but I think it is important that you guys are on the same level of where you stand politically as well as religiously, because, if you are growing up as a Christian and then someone is an atheist, it can work, but it's not ideal. And I mean, like, divorce rates right now are like 50%, even within the Christian and non-Christian community. So, you know, there's a lot of other things, and by all means, like, our marriage is not perfect, but my husband is amazing, and I am definitely imperfect. I get tired, especially when you have a child. You're like not sleeping well, and you're just a little bit more snappy, and you know, you try to like rein it in, but when you're just like exhausted physically, mentally, and just emotionally, that you're just like don't have time for yourself, like, it's a lot easier to snap. And you want someone who is like one that has good boundaries and is like, hey, I don't want to be around this, I'm not going to tolerate this, which is really good. And as a woman, you need to know to not speak to your husband like that. And it can be also the other way around. If your husband is having like a stressful and emotional time, they need to know to not like snap at you. And like, you know, that stuff happens within a marriage. If, you know, if Justin's more tired, he will snap, and I'll be like, I wasn't doing anything, I was just trying to make you breakfast, you know, and I just woke you up 5 minutes too early. You know, it's just like these things will happen, and these are like just normal things that happen when you are married. So anyway, back to the list of what I wish I prayed for, I guess, but the Lord knew. But I mean, these are things that you could look for when you're dating, I guess. Like, you'll see like little smidgens of like these things. But other things that I really prayed for and I found really hard to find was a man that had really good boundaries with opposite sex. That was like a huge one for me. I found it so interesting that like I would date guys and they would have, again, like, this is just my list, and everyone's list is different, but I think it is important to protect your marriage. And like, I found like it didn't matter whether the guy was good looking or not good looking. These men were very insecure in themselves, and they found that they had to like have a lot of attention from other women. Like, yeah, all their friends were girls for one of them, and another one, like, he had a very good couple of good girlfriends that like were on the borderline of like girlfriend, you know, like they were kind of dating because there was like no boundaries. And so I find that with someone that you are married to, you do want someone that has firm boundaries or is willing to understand your boundaries. And you also have to have good boundaries with the opposite sex. If they're not comfortable, like I used to salsa dance and I used to dance regularly, and it's not controlling, it's just like, hey, what's comfortable for your partner, and are they willing to accept the boundaries and also accept what you're comfortable with, that kind of stuff. And those can change over time, like in terms of you know, as you're more comfortable, then they might be like, oh, okay, I'm comfortable with you going out. Like my husband, he came salsa with me, and now he's like, oh, I don't feel uncomfortable anymore, but I still would like me to be there. And I'm like, great, I would love you to be there, you know. But anyway, back to the list. So I think someone who is very patient, who is very kind, everything that the Bible says of the gifts of the Spirit, that's really important. Also, like when you come down to like having a child, I think I mentioned in my last video of like singleness and dating and sex and that kind of stuff, it's like things are going to change. Like your body as a woman, if you are a woman, like you're going to go through pregnancy, and it is real. So I'm going to share my experience, you know, in the next few videos of like going through pregnancy and having a baby and then like that kind of stuff, because it is good to prepare yourself if you are wanting a child, and like knowing what you're going to be going through. It's not to scare you, but to be like, hey, like, you know, my body is going to change and that's normal. But basically, you know, you're going to go through a lot of emotional changes because your body is creating a human being with your body. And it's like your hormones are going up, like your estrogen, people say estrogen here. Your estrogen is going up and down, your progesterone is going up and down, like everything's just like, ah. And, you know, emotionally, you need to feel more secure. You want a man who loves you. I mean, like, things that used to bother me is like things like I could not cook in the house because the smell of the cooking in the house would make me feel nauseous. So we had to go out a lot. But even like going out, like I could not even be around Chick-fil-A because I could not smell chicken, like the whatever the oil that they were cooking in. So even things like that, like your husband needs to be like understanding. And like, okay, I'm on a lot of Christian and like marriage support groups on Facebook. A lot of people complain about their husbands and or wives. And so, and a lot of them, as you notice, is like things like when you're pregnant, you want a lot more attention because you kind of need it. You need the support. You need support as you're developing and growing human being. Some things now you're not going to be able to do. Like as you get bigger, you know, you won't be able to like come out of a chair properly. You might not be able to like stand up from a toilet properly because you're getting so big. You can't even tie up your shoes. Like I know that you're so far from that, but right now you're just like, oh, I just want a husband. I just want a wife. Guys, if you're a guy as well, you need to also see if a woman is like good around adversaries as well, because that's also a reflection of what they're going to be like when they're going through a tough time, like pregnancy and having a baby and that kind of stuff. And again, I'm not perfect, but everyone goes through like an emotional time when you have a baby. So, you know, it's full on. And so I'm thankful for my husband because like when I was pregnant, he did so many things that went above and beyond. Like he helped me like stand up from the toilet because I couldn't stand up. When I gave birth, he was helping me like get the pads ready and then like help me do that. And I mean, there's so many other intimate things that you're just like would not know that what you would go through after having a baby. And having like a husband that is not like, ew, like I don't want to touch that, but like is like, oh, I'm all in and I'm here to help you. I mean, like I had an epidural, I gave birth and I couldn't move my legs, and he literally like had to like lift me up and like move me because the nurses weren't really doing that much. And I'm just like, wow. And even the nurses were like, wow, you're a very hands-on husband. And I'm like so thankful for that. But you know, and also like things like when I'm so tired, like it really does change when you have a child. Like if you're breastfeeding or if you're pumping, like you really, depending on the nature of your child, like some children don't sleep, some of them are like super colicky, some of them are like wonderful. And I had to pump a lot because my milk wasn't coming through, and my husband was a trooper and he fed the child in the middle of the night so that I could get more. So anyway, I'm not to say like, you know, my husband is perfect, I'm perfect, or we're imperfect. Like we're totally imperfect people trying to make marriage work and try to be happy every single day because it's a choice. And I love marriage. I love marriage with my husband. He's like super cool. He's my bestie. But yeah, those are the things that I would not have known as a single person, knowing what I should be praying for as a mother and someone who's a wife, you know? So I'm thankful that the Lord had sent me someone that I need, that he knew that I needed rather than what I wanted, which is actually like still everything that I wanted, but even more. And so, I mean, these are things that you can see within someone. It's like, hey, are they patient? Are they very attentive to you? Like, I just remember like previously in my relationships, like I was on a farm with one of my exes and it was like pitch black, and he invited me to his farm in New Zealand. So I went, and I've never been there before. And like, it had just rained the day before. And like, I remember it was pitch black. We're walking because I can't remember, had gone on a full thingy, mum brain, I literally don't even know what it's called again, on a thingamajiggy. And we're walking to the house, and it was like muddy. And it was like I was slipping and sliding everywhere. And he was like far ahead in front of me and speaking to his sister, and like just did not even care that I was like way back, like trying to like trudge through the mud on the farm that he like invited me to in the pitch black. Like, and it was like even just like little things like that. Like, again, he's not a bad person, but I was like, okay, this guy's not as attentive to like my needs. And I'm not saying that you need someone who like cares about your needs more than theirs, but it really helps, because if you're caring about their needs and they're caring about your needs, it's a beautiful relationship. It's all about being selfless. Like, I'm constantly always thinking about, what does my husband need? How can I give that to him? What does my baby need? How can I give that to him? And so you feeling really exhausted and you're trying to fill people up, and you're also trying to fill yourself up. But a beautiful marriage is when they're filling you up, you're filling them up, and it's just like a constant flow of like filling up each other, and also getting that flow filling up from the Lord, and being constantly refreshed by the Lord. And then I think there was another time when, like, again on another farm, I had gone on another like RTV. Oh man, my brain. It was like a windowless car, and we're going through like the trees and stuff, and like something had like right in my eye, like right into my eye, and I was like crying. And I remember the guy I was with did not even care, and then just like resumed drinking with his boys and stuff like that. And I was like, yo, what the heck? Like, anyway, they're not bad people. Like, there were really good aspects of those relationships. Otherwise, I wouldn't have been in them. But just like little things like that, like you really need someone to like be attentive to your needs. And like my husband is fantastic. Like he knows what I need before I need it sometimes. And that's like a really beautiful relationship, because I also try to do the same thing for him. So we're always trying to have each other's back, I guess. That's the word. But this is really important when you have a child, because then, you know, as a mother and as a father, you're going to be watching over another child. You're going to be bringing them up and, I guess, teaching them the ways of the world, the ways of the Lord, how to grow up in a safe environment. And it's very exhausting, and it's beautiful all at the same time. So anyway, back to my list. I think my list was like pretty long. And I think the biggest ones were like, had a good relationship with the Lord, a similar relationship to the Lord that I had as well. Patient, kind, that kind of stuff. And obviously physically attractive. And then also another one that for me that was really important was someone in the industry, because I knew I wanted to be acting, and I had dated people that weren't actors before, and I didn't want to marry an actor, but I wanted someone in the industry so they would understand the industry. And I'm sure there would have been someone that could understand the industry, but once you're in it, it is kind of like, it can be uncomfortable, it can be hard to understand in terms of like how unstable it is. So anyway, that was really wonderful how the Lord brought me someone that we're actually working towards the same purpose. We're both trying to move forward in the entertainment industry, and you know, we can go to entertainment industry meetups together. We can connect with casting directors. We can go to acting classes together, like when we didn't have a child. Most of our friends are people in the industry, which is really cool, because then you can talk about it, you can have fellowship, you can have acting classes at your house, and you can be praying for the industry. So anyway, those were on my list. I hope that was helpful for anyone out there. And again, I know it might not be, I know that marriage and having a child could be like so far in the future, but it can happen so quickly. Like, reconnected with my husband in December. I moved in like 5-6 weeks. We got married in 3 months, and I was pregnant in 3 months. And then basically it was like, wham, bam, thank you, ma'am. So it was very quick for us, and it may not be as quick for you guys, but the time goes quickly. Even that period of being married or courting, that kind of stuff, it can go very quickly. And then all of a sudden you're like with a child and trying to figure it all out. So I guess, the one question would be, instead of like just going, I want a boyfriend or I want a girlfriend, I think the biggest question is this person going to be a good husband, wife, / mother and father? I think those are, I guess, coming down to, as the toys go in the back, I think those are the good questions to have as you are dating or courting someone, is, are they going to be a good father that I can raise my child with? Are they going to be a good husband? Or are they going to be a good mother? Are they going to teach the same ways that I would want to teach my child? I mean, it could be different. Like, again, your ways might be different, but still your goal is still the same. And are they going to be a good wife? Are they going to take care of me? Are they going to love me? Are they going to take care of my needs above their own? Do they display like joy and peace, I guess. So anyway, I hope that helps. I think as I was like speaking to a lot of my friends that are single, like they're always like praying for a husband, but they're like dating like boyfriend material. And it's like, but this guy's not even like a husband / father material. Like, are they a good father? Would they be a good father? Are they even in the space? I mean, like, oh, I'm sorry, but like some guys that I'm seeing on Facebook or like that I've seen out there, it's like some guys are still gaming. Like, you're 40 years old and you're gaming. Like, how do you even have time to like take care of a child? My husband is like constantly working, and if he's not working, he's like doing something for the family. And if he's not, like, we have to choose to have time with friends and stuff like that. We always have friends over, which is like very helpful with putting the baby down and then being able to enjoy the night and stuff. But like, I mean, I can't even imagine if he just started gaming for like 4 hours, 5 hours. I'd be like, I mean, where do you have the time? So it's like things like that. Like, are these people like a kid, or are they an adult? Like, are you dating an adult or a kid? And I think there are people that are dating out there as well that are like, I think they have like messaged me and asking me like, is this a good guy? It's like, I don't know if they are, but I think the biggest one is like question, like, are they a big boy, or are they a man? Are they going to be a good father? Are they going to be a good wife? Is this girl like still in that stage of like being single and like enjoying her life as like a child, or is she like stepping up to be like, I'm wifey material? So anyway, I'm gonna actually link a few great YouTube channels that actually really help me like open up questions about this. So I'm gonna link them because again, like I said, YouTube helped me significantly when I was single and like trying to figure out what I really wanted in a partner, as a mom, as a wife, as just trying to find my purpose in this world. So I'm gonna link really great people that you might want to listen to, and if not, that's all good. And again, if this is like too much, then that's all good. Sorry for my ramble. Anyway, I love you guys. Thanks for listening, and enjoy your day. Bye.